Welcome back to the AB Scout Project. I'm Krieger, and this is Alpha Bravo. And today we're going to start off with the Armada Megatron. And of course, I've got some stand-ins here. We got the McDonald's Hot Shot in for the McDonald's. We've got Tidal Wave in here for the Fans Hobby MB17. That comes up to about the top shelf here. So that's where he sits. All right, first off, I think we can get rid of a couple just by scale. Now, looking at this scale chart I found here, looks like Megatron's head should be about to the bottom of Tidal Wave's torso. So we're looking at what we have here, and it looks like we can pretty easily eliminate the Fans Hobby, the Combiner Wars, and the McDonald's. I went ahead and brought in the Armada Prime, the new one, to see, the Megatron should be about a head taller. So they actually both line up pretty well, and they actually both look pretty good with the new Armada Prime. So really, scale-wise, they're both okay. Of course, we will be getting a new Tidal Wave later, which will be totally out of scale, more in scale with the Armada game and the IDW universe. So I'm definitely going to buy it. But for the scale chart, the original works. But scale-wise, I think we're pretty much at an impasse right here between the original and the brand new Legacy. Let's go ahead and pull these up and see them. And in comparison, I'd be right off the bat be more inclined that just because this is more posable, with the ankle tilts and things like that, that it might be better. But I mean, if you take into account the sheer amount of gimmicks in this thing, if you like that, you can also tell mine's missing a lot of stuff because it was well loved when I got it. But just the sheer amount of gimmicks that they laid into this thing, it's, it's kind of ridiculous how much they put into it. It does kind of hamper a little bit, but one thing it does do is actually moves the whole tread. When you move the arms, a nice clickety-clack. Where the new Legacy, you've got to flip this up, and then you can move the arms up. There's no forward-back movement with this. They're fixed. So they're kind of like the Laser Prime. So, yeah, that's a little disappointing. And the face shield for transformation that was on the original, they just have it molded in over here. It really doesn't do anything. You've got to flip this out and flip that up and put that up there, and they just put that there to tease you. I was like, at that point, did you really need to include it? Anyway, and plus right now, we don't have a Tidal Wave that can combine with this. The new Titan Tidal Wave will come with some small components that can combine with it. But for now, if you want to combine mode, you got to stick with the original. Alright, well, before we make our final decision, let's go ahead and look at the tank modes. And here we have Armada Megatron giving tanks. And, yeah. Not too bad. Definitely see a lot more pain apps on the original than you do on the new Legacy. So let's get on that. Let's move Alpha out of the way because we're just going to keep knocking them over because we're going to swing these suckers around. So you can see the... Actually, I like the way the feet pack away on the original better. This one you can tell it's kind of feet sticking out there. This one you kind of got to look for it. But otherwise, you can see how they tried to mimic a lot of the old gimmicks. Doesn't quite get there, but the thought went into it. So yeah, that's about it for the tank mode. Of course, this has all the gimmicks that it had when it originally did. This does blast effects. That's about it. And if you try to do the pincer thing with the head there, knew I shouldn't have brought him back in. If you try to do the pincer thing with the head, the things are just going to come out. So, to fix Alpha Bravo there, he's fallen too many times. All right, Alpha Bravo's fixed. Let's go to our final decision. So, which one is going to be our Armada Megatron? I'm going to say if you want a highly posable Megatron, except for the shoulders, I'd say stick with the Legacy. If you want all the gimmicks and still combine with the current Tidal Wave, then keep the original. Personally, I've got the new Tidal Wave on pre-order, so I'm probably going to go ahead and just keep this just because it's a bit more playable and I don't have all the stuff for mine, so it'd be a harder decision if I had all the pieces, but since I don't, I'll go ahead and keep with the new, and it works with the new Armada stuff they've come out with, and then I just realized, the old one doesn't have any knees, so definitely more dynamic, so yeah, so it's more of a personal preference at this point, which one you want to use, so I'm sticking with Legacy. Anyway, let's go on to our next one. And finally for today, we're looking at Trashmaster. And he's the only one. He wins. Yay! All right. We'll take a look at him. Spin him around here. A lot of kibble back there. And this thing, this pulls off and then separates in two separate pieces. And that's part of the weaponizer. He doesn't really do a lot weaponizer-wise. It's pretty much just that, and his legs come off. That's about it. That's all he does. The rest stays in one piece. Of course, his weapon comes off, but yeah. And the weapon, I do have a complaint about the weapon. The lower jaw is like loose as all get out. It just comes off at a stiff breeze. So I have to take a hair dryer to that and kind of flex it out a little bit. Anyway, not really a lot to talk about. Let's do some comparisons here. Let's move off Alpha Bravo. We'll bring in Crash Bar here so you can see what he looks compared to the other ones. He's actually a Voyager compared to the others that are deluxes. And we'll bring in Scrap Hook here. Yeah, about the same thing. See how they look together. And we'll bring in the Studio Series 86 Wreck-Gar. You see he's still shorter than Wreck-Gar, but bigger than the rest. So, yeah. That's really not a lot to him. Again, like Scrap Hook and Crash Bar, you can transform them without parts forming. But it does make it easier. Especially with these things that like to fall off down here. So, yeah. But it is possible to do it without parts forming. Alright, let's go ahead and look at the vehicle mode. And here we have Trashmaster in his truck mode. And it's a garbage truck, rolls pretty well. Got the mouth on the back. I guess it'd be a monster truck. Anyway. The bars are supposed to have, like, something to pick up a garbage can. Don't do anything. Yeah. It looks kind of neat. I wish they'd done something with this. At least give us like two little, blades that come out there. At least make it look like it can pick up some trash. Anyway, looks pretty good underneath. Then of course disc briefs came through, so the jaw came off again. Anyway, there's a quick flip. That's what it looks like from the top. Here's what it looks like next to Wreck-Gar. See, Wreck-Gar's pretty big. You can tell two hugely different scales. That's the Wreck-Gar. And we'll bring in Crash Bar. You can see still two different scales, but that's what happens when you have motorcycles. Anyway. And finally, Scrap Hook. And you can see those are, pretty close to the same scale. I mean, this is probably still a little undersized, but not too bad overall. And I think we'll bring them all back in again. And you can see they make a pretty good used car lot. Alright, let's go to final deliberation. Since Trashmaster is going to win anyway, I thought I'd bring out all of our modern Junkions thus far, and it looks like a pretty motley group. A couple of big standouts over here, but otherwise, yeah, they think it works. It fits as a planet of people who work out on spare parts, so yeah, not too bad. All right, let's wrap this up. And that's it for today. Thanks for joining us on the AB Scale Project. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, ring that bell, and I'll see y'all later.